Hello, my name is Brian, and today I have some products from Vego Garden that I'll be unboxing. We'll be unboxing the mini pots as well as the herb planter. These are self-watering pots and planters. They also come with trellises. They come in 3 colors, and then they also come in either a single pack or you can get them as a pack of 2. Most of the colors here will be fog gray, and then I selected the cream white mini pot that I'll be planting a wasabi plant in later on, and I think that the lighter color will help keep the temperatures cooler in the summertime when the sun might hit the pot. So without further ado, I'm gonna unbox. This is the first time I'll be touching and seeing the product. If you're curious about these products and how they look, hopefully this video will help you decide whether they will work for you in your garden or your patio, kitchen, countertop. So many uses for these mini planters and herb planters. Let's see, we got the water tape. And then I also have a 1 gallon, standard 1 gallon pot that we'll use to give a size reference. You got the self-watering mini pot instruction manual. You have this nice protective cover for the packaging. And then this will be the trellis. And here it is. So this is the cream color one. And I'm a little bit amused because I did an unboxing of the tomato self-watering container for the tomato trellis, and this is like a very scaled down version of it. It's got all the same things except the casters, and it looks like it has everything but the self-leveling watering exhaust, I would call it, vent. So that's pretty cool. I like the plastics. I like the color. They look and feel very durable. It's got this flap for the water reservoir, which I like. It keeps the water contained and mosquitoes from going in and breeding. And let me put this 1 gallon container here, as a reference for you. So these are probably roughly 1 gallon in capacity. And let's move that out of the way, and let's quickly assemble the trellis onto this mini planter. Let's look inside this package and see what we got. Let's take it all out. Let's move this over here. This feels like the trellis, and then this is very likely the watering gauge. You got the watering gauge. That pops in there like that. Let's see what else is here. More pieces for the trellis. And this is the watering gauge. This is part of it as well. So we'll plop that on the bottom of it. Oops. I'll collect that in a second. So this is the cap end for the watering gauge. Just slips in. And let's see if that's, yep, just like that. And then this will be the trellis. The trellis is the same material as the material for the big guy, the tomato one. So these just slip on, I would imagine. There are more pieces here, which is here. Let's take this out. It's like building a model. All right, let's see if that goes in like this. I see only 2 holes for this. So I assume it goes there. And then these pieces probably go like this. So they go around like this, is my guess. And then we have a T piece here. which probably goes on top somewhere. So, yeah. And goes on like this. So you can have it at one height like this. And if you want to make it taller, you would get the other pieces on here and it would go much taller up to here like this. So let me put this all aside and then we'll start unboxing the other planters as well. Let me move this to the side. And then we're gonna look at the 2-pack, and then this will be fog gray. Let me move this up here so you can see it better. And let's cut through the water tape. See if we got enough of it. Okay. And it's going to be a 2-pack. So one instruction manual. And then you have the hardware. And this is fog gray. It's pretty nice, kind of a pastel kind of a color. So very stylish. Let me put this cream white up here as a comparison for you to see. And then where's that pot? This is the 1-gallon pot here for comparison. And I'm just kind of looking at it spatially. It looks about the same volume when you fill it with soil. So we have that. And these are, again, self-watering. They're self-contained, so you can keep them inside the house. You can plant something that's really close to a window where you get some natural light. You can probably even put in one of these house plants in there if you like to. And also you can put it underneath a bright window light. You can grow herbs in these. And speaking of herbs, let's move on to the next planters that are here, which are the herb planters. And let's open this guy up. Let's use this box to stage it so you can see it better. And these are all going to be a single color. I'm looking forward to using them in the garden. I have this nice counter bench in the garden, and to put them on top will be really nice. It will make it look less cluttered. So I'm looking forward to using it there. And I'll be planting herbs as the planter is designed. And I'm also going to try to grow Asian greens in them, like bok choy and gailan. The reason I think they're going to work really well is I can direct seed them into these planters. When I grow the gailan and the bok choy, I have to grow them as transplants because they get eaten by pill bugs. So if I can avoid that transplant process, it'll be really, really helpful. It'll make these planters super convenient to have. So we're going to find that out. All right, let's see. This is, once again, the manual that will show you how to put the trellis together and what to fill it with, which is potting soil, and I like that about these planters. And then the hardware is going to be in here because it feels heavy. Let's go and so it's got this. Oh, awesome! It's got this one continuous piece. That's really cool. So the fewer pieces, the better. Less complexity. Okay, let's set that over there, and then I'm gonna put this over here for now. And this, even the boxes are well designed. They have this little flap for you to get your finger in there to get this flap out. Or I should say a notch for you to get your finger in there. And then some more hardware. It's got this thing's called the steel ring. It's got the straight connectors, the straight poles, a screw. Oh, that's interesting. Oh, the screws for the stand. There's 2 stand pieces and a watering gauge. So that's really cool. You have the option of using either a stand or not. So there may be cases where we want it on a stand, and there may be cases when we don't need a stand. So let's see. There it is. I'm gonna close this box back up. Oops. And put it up here so you can see it better. And once again, nice heavy duty plastic. And it has, just like the tomato planter trellis with trellis, it has these valves here for you to set how much water you want the reservoir to hold. So depending on the angle, it will hold more or less. Let's see if we can move this cap off. And yes, just like the tomato trellis, planter with trellis, it has a cap so that you can keep this closed in case you want it indoors and you don't want to make a mess of where you put it indoors. And it also has these vent holes, which also prevents mosquitoes from getting in there. So it's got one on each side. And let's see, let's put this back on here like this. See if I got it in the right orientation. Let's turn it around and see if the orientation matters, because on the tomato one, the orientation does matter. And just like the tomato planter, the orientation does matter. And then in here will be some of the hardware. I see the stands and the it also includes a Phillips screwdriver. So you get a Phillips screwdriver with it. Okay. And slip that out. Let's see here. Here's the watering gauge, so that slips in. And then we have some hardware. I'm just going to dump it in here so we don't lose it like we lost the hardware for the first planter. So it goes there in that pile. Here are the rods. So these rods are much shorter than the ones for the planter. And we have some T-posts, but these are going to be curved, accounting for the steel ring. And one detail, as I'm noticing on the steel ring when you put these together, is that it has a hole on one side. So that probably you might want to check the manual to see if there's an orientation to consider with this hole. So let's look at that more closely. And then I'm just going to try to be a monkey and put this together without looking at the manual. There is a hole on one of these vertical posts, and whenever I see a hole, I look on the opposite side to see if there's a corresponding hole. And if there's not, I'll usually face the hole down because you don't want water to just pool in there. So we're going to face these down like this. And I'll confer with the manual, and if it's not the case, I will make note of it either in the video description, or I'll figure it out right now and make some corrections to some of the vise. Let's see, what is the smart thing to do? Probably to put this on the ring before we try to assemble it. So right now I have the hole right here, which is, if you have the Vego reservoir and the logo facing you, it's going to be the upper right. So that's my inclination. We'll find out if we're doing this right or if there's even a wrong way. Let's snap these all in place. And maybe the hole is just a manufacturing, for manufacturing, just makes it easier for them to achieve what they need to achieve. So maybe that's why that hole is there. There's not really a practical reason for it with regards to planting. So it snaps in here real quick. I guess there's some adjustments because of the way the steel ring has arches, so we have to make some adjustments. So So not too difficult to do. It just snaps in place like that. And this is the Vego herb planter. And we're gonna plant some herbs as it's intended. And I'm looking at this space and I think I can fit 1, 2, maybe 1, 2, 2, and 2, maybe 6 bok choy plants in here. We won't need the trellis, but I'm thinking we can fit 6 bok choy plants. And with succession planting, that's gonna be plenty for each time we eat. We'll eat about 6 bok choy. We eat about 6 Gailon plants, maybe up to 12 sometimes. So this is gonna be pretty cool to try. And then it also has the stands here, which will even keep this thing more elevated off the surface and make it even more difficult for the slugs, and the bugs to go on there. But they can get on, they can climb most surfaces, but this elevated stuff will probably help out in that regard. And once again, they have really good designs in mind. A monkey like myself can put it together without too much trouble. It has, for the stands, it's not symmetric, so it's like a puzzle. It can only fit one way. If you try to orient it this way, it's not gonna fit. So that's perfect. And then they also provide a Phillips screwdriver that's gonna fit perfectly with the hole and then the length of it. So where are the screws? Oh, they're down here. So let's get the screws on. And once again, you may not need the stands, so it's nice to have the option. These holes here, they're untouched, so it might take, I would probably do some pre-driving, so that way when you try to screw in, it's less work. We're just trying to create some of the threads for screwing down the legs. That should help this go a lot smoother. Okay, let's reverse thread this out. So we got some threads in there. You can see it's all scuffed up now. Let's put this on, get the screw. Okay, that's the second stand on there. Let's flip it over. And there we have it. Our Vego herb planter with the stand on. Let's see, I think it goes this way. Yep. So that's the herb planter. We're gonna get into this pack of 2 here and see how the packaging looks. Let's move this. We're running out of space here. Let's move this down on the floor now. Okay, and then this package is pretty tall, so we'll put it up here by itself. And then before I forget, let's put this here like this. And then here is the 1 gallon container for reference. And it looks like let's see, let's move the trellis off if we can. It looks like it'll fit in there. So about 2 of these and maybe a half. So I'm thinking maybe this is closer to 3 3/4 gallon container. And then here is the mini for comparison here. And this looks to be about 1, 2, maybe 2.5 in capacity. Just eyeballing it. All this information is available on their website as far as the capacity of these planters, and I'm sure it's also in the card here. Okay, so this box looks like it's packed to be opened this way. So we'll get in there. I'm starting to get really comfortable figuring out how to undo their tape. So now I'm just figuring out I can just run the knife on the inside because of the way they have these boxes made. It's just a flap. Here we go. All right, we're getting more and more efficient with this. So as you open your box, hopefully this helps you get in there quicker, because I know it can be very exciting to get new garden toys. So it's a 2-pack, and then once again, the instruction manuals on how to put it together, as well as a user guide to talk about the self-watering vent and also the water gauge. So I'm just trying to scan through this real quick to see if there is anything that I missed. Now this comes in a 2-pack. Once again, the hardware is here. Another set of the hardware. Move this to the side. A cutout here so that you can easily remove this protective layer of heavy cardboard. It's got the hardware for each of the planters. Let's see. So there's that. And then you have the herb planters in here as well. And like I had mentioned, we got 3 of these total, because I intend to grow some bok choy in one of them, some gailan in another, and then in the third one we'll be growing herbs, some of the ones that I eat regularly. So we're gonna grow a medley of them: some basil, some scallions, I got some chives, parsley, and I think we might be able to squeeze in some cilantro in there, in that container. So be sure to check my channel, Never Enough Dirt, for future updates on how these planters grow. On my channel, there's lots of things going on. It's really a hodgepodge of different things. So I hope you subscribe and see what I'm up to. We'll have different ways of planting, out of the box ways, and I try to stay within the box for some of these products. So I'm gonna do that by putting herbs in there, and then out of the box, we're gonna put some Asian greens in one of them. Gonna have some wasabi plant in another, and then with some of the other extra planters, I'm gonna figure out what we want to put in them. Maybe flowers. Flowers are really nice to grow, and they're enjoyable to watch. They're very interesting to see all the different colors of flowers. So that's gonna be it for today's video. I'm really looking forward to giving these planters a test run. The tomato planters are working really well as of today. I had to do very minimal watering. The reservoirs are working really well. At the same time, we've been getting a lot of rain, and the rain's been keeping it moist. And now it's warmer, so I'm going to be interested to see how well those reservoirs work. Especially when I go on vacation once a year, it'd be nice to not have to worry about getting that planter watered. Since we have so much growing on, we want to make sure the other plants get watered when we have a garden sitter, and they have to worry about one less thing. So once again, these are the Vego garden. We have the mini pot. These are self-watering containers. They come with a trellis. Some plants need trellis. And let's see, here's the white one. You know what? I'll give you a picture at the end of it all assembled, but just to not keep too much of your time in this video. All right, that's gonna do it for me. Please stay tuned to see how they're being employed, and I hope to see you in a future video. Thanks again for watching.